What is good, Boom Bap Nation? It's the historian back for an album review. And this is one where when it was mentioned that it was coming out, um, I was definitely excited for. It's not often, but I definitely was excited because unlike the Sandros, which I knew was coming out, it just basically dropped. This one through Facebook, the pre-orders. I don't know if it was up for pre-order, but it was mentioned the release date. Um, And this is an artist that I've been following for a while, as you know, with the Godplex album, my favorite album of the year. Um, and then I also have somewhere in here this project here, Evil Bastards. That project right there. Shout out to Gamblez. So Gamblez, the lucky bastard, had an opportunity to team up with one of hip hop's legendary productions and Stu Bangas. And this is entitled 80's Baby, 90's Kid, which is kind of similar to, I was born in 76, so definitely see myself as a 90's kid. That is a fact. Still definitely caught up in the 90's hip hop, and that was really dope about this one too. You can see the Illmatic poster, NWA, and Mobb Deep, and but yeah, this is one of those I was definitely looking forward to. Um, it took me a little while to get to it because I was, on deployment and kind of missed it, but I had an opportunity to listen to it. And shout out to Gambles too, because I did get like 4 or 5 tracks that were sent to me early, all super dope. But hearing this album, number one, when you talk about an MC and one producer production, I think those albums have a tendency to stand out among other albums. So again, not that you can't have an album with multiple producers, but there's just something about a cohesiveness of a project, and that's what I feel like get with this one, and what I think everybody will get. Some really dope features, but this is just one of those albums where after you're done listening to it, you're like, yeah, that's it. That's a fucking hip hop record. And that's how I feel with this project. So, um, Gambles, the lucky bastard, shout out. I appreciate you and all the things that you guys have sent me, and tracks, and of course Evil Bastards, a project, super super dope. But here we go. Gambles, the lucky bastard, Stu Bangas, 80's baby, 90's kid, released on 8/21/2026. Um, I will put the link in the description so you can check out all his projects. This one's available for $14 on his Bandcamp page. It was going to be uploaded to iTunes. I'm not sure. I went ahead. It wasn't on iTunes. I was going to get it there, but I went ahead and picked it up on Bandcamp for $14. You will not be disappointed if you pay the $14. Just trust me on that. But it does clock in. It is 17 tracks, but because it has an interlude and an intro and an outro, it's really right around the 14 track mark. Um, but without further ado, let's get right into the track listing. And then I'll mention my favorite tracks from this LP. Gamble's Lucky Bastard, Stu Bangas, 80's Baby, 90's Kid, 8/21/26. Starts off with intro, The Debate. Track 2, Find Out. Track 3, 10 Toes Down. 4 has really dope cuts. It's a dope collab, Looking Sideways. That features Hanzo Blades, Honey De Niro. Shout out to Honey De Niro. One of the dopest, not only, I mean, if you talk about female MC, but just a really, really dope MC in general. She would slaughter a lot of dudes. Track 5 is YAK. 6 is The Games That I Play, featuring Jack Progresso, Smeeg Scientist, and Tone Spliff. That one features cuts as well. Track 7, 80's Baby, 90's Kid. 8, Ghost Town, featuring, I believe it's Akua, The God, and Herb. 9 is Interlude, The Truth. 10, Holla at Me. 11's really dope, featuring hip hop veteran Lord Goat and Versatilla. That's entitled Black Masks. I don't know if I missed that one. uh, 12 is Hunger, featuring No One As Evil, which is one that I showed you when he hooked up and they did the Evil Bastards Project. Jack D. Frost. Oh, no, sorry. No One As Evil, a yoke, and Terminology. Probably fucked up a yoke, but if I did, much apologies, my dude. But 13 features Jack D. Frost, Miss Laura Michelle, and Gibby Stites, who released a project earlier that I did review. That was entitled Still I Rise, which I believe that was one of the tracks that I was forwarded. 14 is Never Say Goodbye, featuring Alexa Dugan. 15 is The Payoff, featuring Tone Spliff. Of course, it has cuts. 16, Ever Since. And then 17, Outro, The Conclusion. So I didn't mention a ton of tracks that I enjoyed. That's because there was outside the ones that had cuts, but I pretty much I just enjoyed this album all the way through. The intro, the interlude, and outro didn't take away from the project. It just had, I mean, it's just one of those albums, man. You just know you're listening to a vintage hip hop record. Gamblez just comes through asserting himself as an MC that probably should get plugged in to a lot of their top MC spots. Being a part of really, really dope projects is really showing. But the production was just dope throughout. There just was no flaws. It just was really dope production, really dope MC, and so, yeah. I mean, this album here, if you don't check it out, then you're not doing yourself any favors or service, man. So, Gamblez, The Lucky Bastards, Stu Bangas, 80's Baby, 90's Kid, 8/21/26. My overall rating for this album is 4 mics. Absolutely dope album, man. You're gonna enjoy everything about this. You're just gonna be sitting at the end of the 17 tracks. You're like, yeah. That's hip hop. And that's what it's all about. All right? Stay tuned. More album reviews coming your way.